the day before opening the Melbourne store. It's 4:30 in the morning, which is like not early if you live in Queensland, but I just went downstairs to reception to pick up a memory card for this camera, and the guy was like, "What are you doing? It's like 4:30 in the morning." And I was like, "Yeah, this is the baker's life." The room, actually, I got upgraded. I have to show you guys when I get dressed, but it is so nice. It is this huge suite, and they've been just like the loveliest hotel. Everyone's really nice and sweet, and really excited for us to open. I am having this is actually a coffee bag, like a tea bag, but a coffee. And I just need to see if I can find some milk. But I'm having a coffee before I leave the hotel, and then going straight over to the shop. The shop is literally, I want to say 200 meters from here, maybe not even 200 meters, maybe 100 meters from the hotel. So it's really handy. And everything is kind of coming together. Today's the last day that it can come together, because tomorrow we open the doors. So I'm really hopeful that today is going to go well. But of course, as always, these things always have a way of being drama. So wish me luck. I'm so excited to show you guys. This is my first time seeing the space. I've just walked in and everything is almost ready to go. It's looking really nice and clean and organized, but now we need to put on the finishing touches because we open in less than 24 hours. So we're going to do a little walkthrough while it is nice and quiet before the chaos starts. But you can see here, the shop is looking so nice. We've got our front displays here. You walk in, there's so much natural light coming from the street. There's a tram right there. So it's down on Chapel Street, and if you've ever been on Chapel Street, you will know that the trams go along Chapel Street the whole day, which is very Melbourne, and it's really close to Toorak Road, which is where the train station is. So it's a very busy part of town. The neighbourhood is called South Yarra, and we are pretty much directly opposite like heaps of other food places, coffee places, and it's like very much like a little precinct, which is really nice. I feel like there's like a really good community. I've already talked to some of the business owners and they're super excited we're here. We're super excited we're here, and finally everything is falling into place. Okay, so you walk in the front and here is this cute little Brooki sign on the mirror as you come in, and then I'm standing behind the counter right now. But the space is looking so cute. It's kind of a little bit hard to show you the entire space at the one time because it's so long and narrow. So I'm gonna sit you guys here. Okay. You can see the floors are the same as all of our other stores. I think this is one of my favorite features. You always wanna have, every store has its own identity, but at the same time, through lines. So like every store has certain things that keep popping back up, like the custom gold trays that are in the case. Let me go around and show you. They're really heavy because they're custom made, but they're all the same in each of the stores. So it's like those little details, I think that yes, every store has its own identity and is unique in a way, but also there's certain things that are the same and make it feel very Brooki. So I think the trays are a good one. And then let's go and show you the floors. I love the floors. There you can see the floors. So they're the same in all of the stores. And then we even have like down here, you will see this on, it's kind of like I don't know what you call it, but like, it's like a splashback in a kitchen, but it's a splash front because it's on the front of each of the displays. And then we have the marble up top. So that's actually the same as the original store in Fortitude Valley, and we've kept that throughout so that it always feels, even though like the stores are a little bit more elevated now because as we've grown we have more money to spend on the store fit outs now, but you still have like very same or similar things that run throughout the different stores. Let's go for a walk through from the front to the kitchen. There is still some painting going on. The entire front of the store is still being painted because it has been raining, which it does a lot in Melbourne in winter. But you can see here the front, and then you come all the way through. It looks so good. All the way through to the back here, which is... Okay, here is a look at the kitchen. So if you go back and have a look at the last store opening, which is the Broadbeach store opening, this is a very similar layout. So it's like lots of windows and shop front at the front, and you can see everything that's happening from the front. And then it's a big long counter that comes down. That one has a seat because it's a little bit wider, the shop, and so we could fit a seat all the way along, which is really nice. This store is too small, like to meet the design standards for dimensions and sizes for this council. We couldn't have a seat on the wall, but it's the same layout, and then it comes through to the back and you come into the kitchen. So basically you look through into the store, and then if you're working in the kitchen, you can see everyone. Casey's down there on the floor trying to hide. Little miniature. If you work in the kitchen, you can see everyone coming in and like ordering their cookie or like doing the checkout or waiting for their coffee. So it's really fun because in every single store we want to have the theatre kitchen experience where you can see the product actually being made. So you can see everything being baked fresh on site. You can see the cakes being decorated. So it feels like more immersive, but it wasn't possible for the theatre kitchen to be at the front of this store because of the width of the shop. So instead, I came up with this concept of having a fully glass kitchen where you look in, which is nothing new. A lot of hospitality places do this nowadays, and I think it's like a really great way for the customer to know that everything is being made fresh and like see the kitchen and see the action, and it feels very immersive. For the layout itself, this was only possible to have at the back of the store because the kitchen still needs to be a big enough size to be able to facilitate all of the products that we're making every day. So we have this big table. Every single Brooki store has like a nice big table in the front. It's kind of like a pastry table, I guess you could say. A lot of bakeries, pastry stores will have this nice central table. It just makes it a lot easier when you're working as a team because someone can work on this side, someone can work on this side, someone can be up there in the ovens, and it's like a central workspace that's always accessible with trays. And then once you take things out of the oven, we have the trolleys, which I should see if we have another one. Do we have 2 or 3 trolleys? Yeah, 3. Okay, because one will need to be here for the cookies coming out of the oven. Yeah. She's already onto it. Here's these trays ready for all the product so that everyone will get a fresh cookie. And the idea is that every cookie is warm from the oven. Not too hot, not cold, somewhere in the middle, which is also hard to navigate, but it's really important that people, if they want a hot cookie straight from the oven, they get that experience. And we've got our ovens. You guys know we use the same ovens in every single bakery. I have had other ovens before. I've tried a few different brands in my time. So before Brooki, I had another dessert shop in Tasmania for 3 or 4 years before I sold it. And we didn't use these ovens, we used a different brand of ovens. And I found that they weren't nearly as accurate. So we've moved to Unox and we use this brand in every single bakery. And I find the support with them is really good too. So that's definitely been one of the, I think, secrets to success is to invest in a great oven, always. So we've got the 2 5 trays. So 5 trays up top, 5 trays on the bottom. When I started the first bakery, we had just this one size, one little 5 tray oven. And to be honest with you, that's all I needed, but that's also all that I could afford. So I started out small that way. And then as the bakery started to become popular and we needed to bake more cookies quicker, we added another 5 tray on top. So now all of our bakeries have the 2 ovens, so we can do 10 trays at once. That's 110 cookies in one bake cycle. So it takes 13 minutes, 110 cookies are baked. and then you reheat the oven and go again. So I would say we have 110 cookies every 20 minutes to allow time to get them in and out the oven, and then also the reheat of the cycle. And then we've got our mixer ready to go. Aprons over there ready for the girls. The girls have already come in for some training late last night, and then they will be getting started tomorrow when we open, a few hours before we open. But we've got the mixer, the oven, so this is like the back of house of the kitchen. Down below here, see this central workspace also has refrigeration underneath, so you can access all of your butter, eggs, everything, cream, milk, etc. And then there's a milk fridge at the front of the store for the coffee machine as well. And then we've got here washing machine, dishwasher, our sink, our mop sink. So we've got that kind of hidden behind this wall, and it's got all of our cleaning, etc. But it's hidden behind this wall, so you can't necessarily see it. Big freezer. Woo! And then we've got our huge storage area through here, which is where we keep all of our packaging, everything. And then this store actually has an entire upstairs section, and I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna show you guys, and then maybe you can let me know in the comments what you think, because I have a couple of ideas, and they're both pretty kind of crazy. But I feel like if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that I have these crazy ideas and just decide to go ahead with it anyway. So this is the upstairs area. I just went past the bathroom. So there's like a staff bathroom upstairs. This is like a random room. I was thinking that could be good for like an office. And there's a second kind of random room here on the right. But this is what I think could be really cool. I just haven't decided yet. Ta-da! It's got a little fireplace. Okay. So the idea, I was thinking, it's quite echoey in here because there's no furniture or anything. I had two ideas. The first one is to turn this into an apartment where I could stay in Melbourne whenever I'm in town and have like a living room, bedroom, one room situation going on. And that means I can spend more time in Melbourne coming and going and filming from this location. Also, whenever you open a new market, because this is our second store in Melbourne, and then we have other stores that will open later in the year. When you open a new market, you spend a lot of time there because you obviously want to train everyone to, you know, make sure that everything is running smoothly, systems, operating procedures, those sort of things. And so even if it's not just me, it might be like our head of operations or our retail operations or training manager, people in culture, like someone flying through Melbourne, and then like this is a great way that they have somewhere to stay. That's option number one. Option number two, which I'm probably more excited about but not sure if we can do it yet, but that would be baking classes. So I was thinking that this whole area could be a really cool space for training for our team, but also baking classes for the public. And that's something that I've wanted to do for the longest time at Brooki. Like, so many people ask us, do you do baking classes? Do you ever do in-person like classes, tutorials, those sorts of things? And we do have the online courses. So we have online bakewithbrooki.com where you can take classes, master classes for cake decorating, macarons, cookies, of course. I really want to launch a cupcake class, brownie class. So we have the classes and then like the recipes. So for people who are elsewhere around the world and maybe they can't get the cookbook or they can't come to a store, that's a great way to connect with more people around the world. But I also feel like in real life classes and events would be really, really, really cool. And I don't think there's a lot of places offering that, or like there's not an oversupply of that. There's some cool places that do classes, but there's not a whole lot of places where you can go to like learn to decorate heart cakes, or you know, make your own cake or make your own birthday cake and then take it to your party after. I think stuff like that would be really fun. So because it's such a big space, I feel like the classes, now that I'm talking about it, I'm already getting passionate and excited about it. I feel like this would be such a cool space to come into this like almost apartment vibe, and it could be like super aesthetic, and you could come and take a baking class. I feel like it has to be the classes. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I think it's gotta be the classes. How cool is this? There's like 2 fireplaces. It's really cute, but I feel like I want it to stay cute. So whatever we do up here, it has to be aesthetic, it has to be cute, and it has to be on brand. Downstairs, by the way, is all of Chapel Street. So you can literally see all the way down Chapel Street, that way and that way. Our neighbors across the road, Green Cup, you guys might know them. Really good smoothies and like acai bowls. And so I think this is such a cool area where people would come to a class. Maybe it's like Thursday night with your girlfriends, or like a pre-wedding, what do you call it? Like a hen's party class. I think that sort of stuff would be so fun. And also like really immersive, and as much as I love being online, I also love being offline. So I think that would be a really cool fun thing to do. Let me know in the comments. Okay, coming back through the storage area, which is still getting organized. And then we have this whole outdoor area as well. So that's where the deliveries come through, so that they don't have to come through the store. Back through the kitchen. Start preparing some things, because if I don't get started soon, we won't be ready to open in time. So I'm gonna start in the kitchen, but I hope you guys love this tour. Let me know what you guys think. If you come to opening day, I will definitely film opening day, but let me know what you guys think of the store, what you think I should do upstairs, and where you think we should open next, because this is store number 12, and we have so many exciting locations that will still be opening this year. Okay, time to do it. Bye. Thanks for watching.